I've got a confession to make. This is not my guitar. It actually belongs to none other than Guitar Max. It's the OZ RV TNC from Vola, and Max was nice enough to let me borrow it. When I first saw the video that Max did with this guitar a while back, I was like, man, I really want to check that out because it looks awesome. And I'm going to tell you guys all about the guitar, the issues that I had, the problems that kind of came up. But first, I want you guys to hear me play this thing. I wrote and recorded an all-new jam on this guitar just for this video. Check it out. Okay, so I'm sure you guys are wondering, like, what was Max wrong about? What's the problem, dude? But first, guys, if you could just do me a really quick favor. If you are new to the channel or you're not subscribed to the Bald Shredder channel yet, if you could just take a quick second to reach down and hit that subscribe button, that would be really great. Thank you. Okay, so first of all, based on Max's assessment and everything that he had to say about this, I was expecting this guitar to be just like unbelievably great. Plus, there's the fact that it is made in Japan. So yeah, high expectations. And I've always known Max to be a man of his word, and if he says it's great, well then it should be great, right? So after I get the guitar from Max, I take it out of the case, I plug it in, I tune it up, I start to play it, and I'm like, it doesn't feel as great as I was expecting it to. I even sent a message to Max and I was like, Max, that Vola, did you really like it? I mean, is that how you really felt? Because I'm kind of like not feeling it on this one. And he said, yeah, it was great. I had no problem with the feel of the guitar. I think it's fantastic. So at that point, I just kind of chalked it up to like, well, some guitars are great, some okay, some not so great, whatever, and I'm just not gonna love this guitar for whatever reason, so I just decided to put the guitar back in the case. I'll get to it later. So after a few days, I take it out of the case again because I'm thinking, I need to record this video. I've got to get some samples recorded. Whether I like the guitar or not, I need to do it. So let's plug it in and let's start playing it again. And guess what happened? It felt amazing. So right then I went, oh, okay, now I get it. I know what happened. There's nothing wrong with the guitar. It was always amazing. It was me. But I'm sure you guys know, we have days where we're just not playing that great. And you're looking at your fingers and it's like, man, are my hands made of concrete? I'm just not feeling it today. Today is not a good guitar day. You know how sometimes people say oh wow, I'm having a bad hair day. Well, I don't have any of those, but occasionally I have a bad guitar day. And that first time that I tried to play that, apparently that was a bad guitar day. It was my fault, on my part. Nothing to do with the guitar. You guys ever experienced that? I'm sure you must, right? But the bottom line, guys, is this guitar from Vola, made in Japan, it is exquisite. It is fantastic. I can't imagine it being any better than it is. But there is one thing that really confuses me about the guitar, and I'll get to that in just a second. Now remember, guys, I said earlier in the video that I had high expectations, not just because Max said it was great, but because of the fact that it's made in Japan. And a lot of you guys don't know this, but I lived in Japan for almost 2 years, right in the heart of Tokyo, Shibuya, from like 2002 to 2004. Well, what was I doing there and all that, and what's the whole story on that? Well, that's a story for another day. But I bring this up because living there, I got to know Japanese people. I got to understand how Japanese people are and understand the culture, and that has to do with kind of my expectation for this and not being surprised that it's such an amazing instrument. And I can tell you guys that there's no way that Japanese workers are going to let a guitar out of the factory that is anything less than absolutely perfect. But the part that confuses me, guys, is the fact that this thing sells brand new for barely over $1,400, including a custom hardshell case. That blows my mind. If we do a quick comparison to one of the made in Japan Charvel models that is currently for sale, great guitar by the way, I've played one, it's fantastic, it looks great. I mean, it's made in Japan, like this one, so I would expect it to be amazing, and it is, but that sells for over $2,500. More than $1,000 more than this one. And the specs are very similar. It's a fairly similar guitar, yet it's over $1,000 more. Wow, quite a difference, right? Okay, so a little more information about the guitar. This particular one has the tribal red gloss finish, but it does come in other colors and finishes. It has a mahogany body with a solid maple flame cap. This is not a veneer. Roasted maple neck with 22 medium jumbo stainless steel frets. And let me tell you, the fretwork is absolutely perfect. I mean, it is perfect. Low action, no fret buzz. This thing is just set up beyond unbelievable. It's got a 12-inch radius and it's got a Graphtec tusk nut and Goto locking tuners. This particular model has one of those 2-point floating trims. It does have a bar. I didn't use the bar because I'm really not much of a bar guy. But even though this is meant to be like a floating trim, in this case, at least on this one, the bridge is all the way back against the body, so it's kind of acting like a hardtail if you don't use the bar. But if you adjust the little claw that's in there and adjust the springs a little bit, you can get that bridge to float, and then you have a nice little floating bridge. And notice, guys, that this one has a clear pick guard on it. I'm not really sure what the purpose for that is, because it's, you know, it's not all routed under there like you would on a normal Strat body that needs a pick guard. It's clear, you can see everything. I would kind of prefer it to not have the pick guard, but it does give it, you know, like a certain kind of look. And last but not least, I really need to talk about what's going on with these pickups and this control layout here, because it's crazy. So in the bridge position, we've got a full-size humbucker. In the middle, just a regular single coil. And then in the neck position, it's the Hot Rails style, you know, it looks like a single coil, but it's not. It's actually a humbucker. And then we've got a volume, a tone, a 5-way blade switch, and then this little button right here that does something. This is interesting because I've never had this on any guitar ever. What this does, when you push that button, it bypasses the volume and the tone knobs. So like, the pickups are just on with full volume and full tone. So when that button is pushed, even if you turn the volume, turn the tone, it has no effect. You can't turn down the volume. Everything's just coming out, bypassing the volume and the tone. And the tone knob, push-pull, right? If you pull the tone knob up, what that does is it makes every pickup a single coil. So then you've got like a Strat, single, single, single. Well, this one's already a single, but it splits this one and it splits this one. So if you want 3 single coils, you just pull that up and they're all single. And then another interesting thing, which I've never seen on a guitar, push-pull on the volume, and what that does is it turns the neck pickup on in every position. So no matter what position I've got my blade on down here, if I've got it all the way down, you know, for the bridge pickup, well, if I pull that up, the bridge and the neck pickup are on. If I put it in the second position where these two are on, well, pulled up, this one's on also. All three pickups on at the same time. So all in all, guys, yeah, it is an absolutely amazing, fantastic guitar. And to get a guitar like of this quality, made in Japan, including a hard shell case, and it's barely over $1,400, that's pretty unheard of these days. And yeah, I know this is more expensive than the stuff that we're used to seeing on this channel, but you have to consider what it is. It's not even in the same category as that other stuff. It's up here, it's elevated, it's just better than that other stuff. So of course, guys, I'm gonna have a link to the Vola website if you want more information or if you wanna check out their other stuff. Hopefully, I'll get a chance to check out some other Vola guitars in the future. And just to reiterate, guys, no, Guitar Max was not wrong. He was 100% on the money. This guitar is awesome. So again, big thanks to Max for letting me borrow it. All right, guys, that's it. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.